Politics on Sunday. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun, standing in for Femi Akonde. Now, the court has affirmed Senator Esther Nenadi Usman as the national chairman of the Labour Party. The big question is simple: what next? With barely 2 years to the 2027 general elections, the Labour Party is racing against time to rebuild, reorganize, and redefine itself after months of internal crisis. Will Nenadi Usman seek reconciliation with the sacked former chairman Julius Abure to heal lingering divisions, or draw a firm line and move on? Is a possible merger with the African Democratic Congress, ADC, now on the table as opposition parties search for strength in unity? And what becomes of Peter Obi and the obedient movement once the engine room of the Labour Party's political search, but now operating outside the party after shifting allegiance to the ADC? Can the Labour Party reclaim that momentum, or has the momentum passed? Joining us this Sunday to answer this question and more is the newly affirmed national chairman of the Labour Party, Senator Esther Nenadi Usman. Congratulations, madam.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Tough battle, back and forth, for many months now.
Honestly, over a year.
Over a year?
Yes.
All right, let's just dive into the crisis. Now, how has that crisis, the instability, affected the Labour Party as a party? Because I know that you emerged as a result of that special convention in Abia State, where the governor of Abia State and the presidential candidates, former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, had a meeting with stakeholders, and they wanted to break the deadlock within the Labour Party. Since that time, what has been happening?
Well, thank you so much for inviting me once more. Just as you rightly pointed out, since that time, we haven't had peace in the party. There had been so many court cases going on, and finally we had the verdict on Wednesday, 21st of January 2026. And within that time, of course, when there's internal crisis, battle within a political party, it brings the party kind of to a standstill in terms of making progress. So now that the storm is over, we are, of course, you mentioned it too, or alluded to it. We have to reconcile with the warring, all warring factions have to reconcile, because what we are looking at is the future of our party, not the future of any one person among us. So for us to develop the party, take it to greater heights, we all have to come back together, sit together on a negotiating table. Mr.
Abure is bent in appealing that judgment, and the way it seems like he's relentless in his quest to continue to be, on that seat as the chairman of the party.
Well, honestly, I have faith in the judiciary. We all know, the judiciary is the hope of the common man. Whatever happens, I know at the end of the day, we will get the judiciary to give us the correct judgment that would help our party to move forward. So I'm not going to say, I don't know whether he's going to, I'm just hearing it from you, that he's going to appeal it. Fantastic. So whatever it is, I still have faith in the judiciary.
The fortune of that party, was all-time high in the 2023 election. You had members in the National Assembly, House of Rep, and Senate, and the showing for the presidential election was a good showing. But it's as if after the 2023 presidential election, the crisis, the internal crisis within that party has robbed the party of, kind of movement or expansion ahead of this 2027 election. I don't know the number of members you say have in the National Assembly again.
You are right. The crisis that rocked the party led us to lose a lot of members. Even before His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi left for the ADC, quite a number of our members had left for APC. So the few that were remaining, some have moved on to ADC with His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, and we are on the verge of taking stock of who we have left, what support groups do we have left. which takes me on to talk about what our immediate plans are. First, we want to go on.
Okay, before you go on
Yes.
your immediate plans, I want to show Nigerians how the verdict of the courts on the Labour Party earlier last week.
Okay.
By Celestine.
The court's ruling put to rest the leadership dispute within the Labour Party. Justice Peter Alifu ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to recognize the Nenadi Usman-led caretaker committee as the party's valid leadership pending the conduct of a national convention. The suit was filed by Nenadi Usman against INEC, with Julius Abure and the Nigerian Labour Congress listed as defendants. In his judgment, the court held that evidence before it showed that Julius Abure's tenure as national chairman of the Labour Party had expired. Justice Linfu dismissed Abure's argument that the matter was an internal party affair and therefore not justiciable, ruling instead that the appointment of a caretaker committee was necessitated, arising from the directive of the Supreme Court. Julius Abure had earlier been removed as national chairman by the party's National Executive Committee following a prolonged leadership crisis. In response, the party constituted a 29-member caretaker committee chaired by former Minister of Finance Nenadi Usman. That decision followed an expanded stakeholders meeting held in Umuahia and hosted by Abia State Governor Alex Otti. The meeting was chaired by the party's 2023 presidential candidate, Peter Obi. Dissatisfied, Abure approached the Federal High Court insisting he was duly elected acting national chairman in March 2021 and later emerged national chairman at the party's convention in Inewi in March 2024. While both the Federal High Court and the Court of Appeal initially ruled in Abure's favor, those decisions were overturned by the Supreme Court, which nullified the judgment of the two lower courts. Reacting to the ruling, Counsel to the Labour Party welcomed the decision, describing it as a reaffirmation of the Supreme Court's authority. The judgment effectively confirms the Nenadi Usman-led caretaker committee as the recognized leadership of the Labour Party pending a fresh national convention.
The party's NEC statutory members, led by Dr. Alex Otti, who is the highest statutory member of NEC, having been the man who is holding the highest political office on behalf of the party, they came together and resolved to vest their leadership in Dr. Esther Nenadi Usman as chairman of their National Caretaker Committee to help and facilitate a proper national convention. For the avoidance of doubt, the court also ordered that INEC should, as a matter of fact, recognize every correspondence from Dr. Nenadi Usman as the valid and the only recognized chairman of Labour Party.
The Supreme Court had upheld the appeal filed by the chairman and secretary of the caretaker committee, while it dismissed the cross appeal filed by Julius Abure. In the lead judgment prepared by Justice Ian Okoro, the court held that members of political party should always abide by the Constitution, guiding the party and political officers whose tenure has elapsed to endeavor to vacate office. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.
That was the verdict of the courts affirming Senator Nenadi Usman as the national chairman, pro-tem national chairman of the Labour Party. Now, Dr. Alex Otti, the governor of Abia State, with this defections, gale of defection around the country, are you sure you are going to retain him as the only governor within the Labour Party?
Well, I'm sure he will still be with us because I spoke to him. I asked him, actually, when His Excellency Peter Obi was leaving. I asked him, what about him? He said, no, he's still with us. So,
what do you think is responsible for the gale of defection? As at the last count, Kano States, the All Progressive Congress, they now have 30 state governors in their folds out of 36. A lot of people are afraid that we've never seen this kind of tsunami before. And all the electoral victory you guys have, you had in your kitty in 2023, you can't boast of it right now.
well, I would say, I would reply by giving you a proverb in Hausa that says, "Banangizo ki sakaba." That is to say, just because all the governors have trooped to one side does not really mean that you should make up, come to a conclusion that we are not going to, the opposition are not going to have any impact come 2027. I don't really look at it like that. You asked me, you said that what do I think is making them flock to? Honestly, I don't know what is making them flock to the APC. We hear a lot of news around. We hear stories of people who, they say if you join the APC, your sins are forgiven, right? So it could be that, I don't know.
So as a matter of fact, when you look at it now and you do a kind of assessment, and do you think alone that fielding any candidate right now from the Labour Party can actually face the All Progressive Congress?
When you say fielding a candidate, for which position?
Presidential candidate.
Oh, for presidential?
Yes.
Well, when we get to
do you
that
have the
bridge,
capacity?
when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. Because whether we are fielding a candidate, how we are going to field the candidate is not something that I personally can sit now and take a decision. You talked about Alex Otti. We also have the NLC, the TUC. So these are the stakeholders. So we have to sit together with them and decide what we should do.
What happened? How did you feel when you learned that Peter Obi has left you guys to the ADC?
I was unhappy about the decision, but having spoken to him and he gave me his reason why he was leaving, I had to respect his judgment, and I just wished him well, and I said we are praying for him, that's all.
Now, looking at, coming together to strengthen the opposition, do you see the Labour Party going into a kind of coalition, even with the ADC and some other party, to wrestle power from the All Progressive Congress?
For now, honestly, we don't have any major talks, if I may use the word, because when a party coalition, normally, mostly, like the coalition that took place that came up with the ADC, was coalition of individuals. But to say that the Labour Party is in a major talks with any other political party, for now we are not. I don't know if tomorrow the stakeholders would sit together and we would decide that we want to do that, but for now it's not on our table. Okay,
let me ask you how you intend to reposition the fractured party called Labour Party right now.
Thank you. First, as I said, we want to call everyone together. Let's bury the hatchets. Let's come together. If truly you are a lover of Labour Party, this is the time for you to come and join us. Let's join hands to rebuild our party. We are on the verge of inaugurating a committee that will be in charge of reconciliation. So that committee, I believe, will go around and talk to everybody that needs to be spoken to, and plead with them for them to come. Let's join hands and rebuild our party. Aside from that, I'm sure you know that the Labour Party is the first party that started talking about e-registration for members, membership e-registration. But other political parties, I see they have adopted the idea and are already doing it. So we have to do that for ourselves, but first we have to revalidate, because you talked about the tsunami, people who had left, so we need to take stock. What do we have, who do we have left? And then after that, we sell our party to people who have never even registered before, tell them to come register and be our members. So it's all about wooing people now to come and join us. And I believe that Labour Party, being the only party, to the best of my knowledge, that is built on ideology, stands we have a lot to offer the Nigerian people. We are the only party that is built on this singular ideology of social justice. It's the party of the workers. It's the party of the common man, the party of the poor. So I believe that majority of Nigerians fall within that circle If you talk about NLC, TUC, every work, there is no polling unit, no ward you go to where you don't have a teacher, a serving teacher, or a retired teacher, a nurse, a retired nurse, a worker who worked with the railway or works with. There are workers everywhere. So aside from that, there are also people who not necessarily are presently workers or worked and retired as workers who have the sympathy of Labour Party because of that singular ideology of social justice, social welfare.
You might be looking at the situation in the country now, and you want to do a critique of how the All Progressive-led Congress had fared in the last 2 years, and in less than 2 years again now, we might be, by February next year, if INEC release their timetable and we see what it's looking like, we might be headed towards the 2027 election. So I'm asking you, what will be your assessment of the ruling party?
Well, my assessment of the ruling party is they got a few things right, and they didn't get some right. But like every human endeavor, they have a lot. They have a lot of. I would say what would I use now? They like, you know, for everything we do as human beings, there's room for improvement. So I think the word I would use is that they could improve on what they are doing if they want to. And they have enough time to improve if they really want to. Because when you make certain policies, if you notice that the policies are anti-people or they don't bring succor to the people you govern, you can decide to...
You want to mention a specific policy?
Well, the latest one that I would want to mention is that of tax. We hear what was signed is different from what was gazetted. A lot of things, since I am not really on the know, I don't really know what happened, but I'm just telling you what I've read on newspapers and online and watch people talk on. So these are things that if you notice that generality of the people do not like this, you can decide you want to change it and do what would be pleasing to the people.
Well, some people are saying that we couldn't have left our tax laws to the mercy of the 50 years, 40 years antiquated laws, that this is a bold step and the right step in the right direction, that if you go to the substance of what the law is actually about.
You said some people. I think for us to be able to decide and talk on whether those tax laws have a human face or not, maybe we should have had an opinion poll to go around, ask people. You want to know. I'm not a journalist, but at least you are one. So you can decide you want to ask people, find out the generality of the people, where are they headed? What do they want? Are they comfortable with this? Or do they feel like these tax laws are draconian and it's not friendly towards them? There are ways of finding out.
In the area of our finance, the federal government, they've done a lot and they've been trying to show off our revenue drive and everything. And as a former Minister of State for Finance, how would you assess their stride, their economic policies? Well,
first and foremost, in terms of revenue generation, I would say yes, they are generating a lot of revenue. But when it comes to the issue of debt, I think we are not really getting it right. The debt is too much. When you look at debt servicing, how much of our revenue is used for debt servicing, that also is something you will look at. If you look at exchange rate, interest rate, inflation rate, those three things, you look at it, you know whether we're heading the right way or the other, or we are not. But suffice it to say, I'm here to talk about Labour Party.
Okay, we'll go back to the...
So the day you want us to talk about the economy, that one you invite me, especially.
All right. All right. Now, looking at Labour Party now, looking at, you know, it's going to be a very busy year. And the capacity in the National Assembly, for those people that we lost in the National Assembly, what really happened? It was looking good at the beginning of this. Yes?
Yeah, it was looking good at the beginning. But as I told you, quite a number left, even without the issue of Mr. Peter Obi moving to ADC. They had left for APC. Because I know the representative for Kaura local government in Kaduna State, he had left for APC quite early in the day. I know some from Edo State had also left for APC. So quite a number had left, and some, when I tried to find out what actually was the issue, some said they were tired of the crisis within the party and they didn't just want to be pitched either one against the other faction or something, that the party was factionalized, so they decided they wanted to move on. Others gave other excuses that were quite flimsy. But suffice it to say, I know that some won election under Labour Party, and if they had contested under other political parties, they would not have won at that time.
A lot of people will say even the soul of that Labour Party in 2023 is Mr. Peter Obi. That Labour Party is nothing apart from Peter Obi. Now that the Peter Obi and the disobedient movement, they've left for the ADC now, that Labour Party is just like any other party at the bottom of the ladder.
No, I wouldn't look at it like that. Mr. Peter Obi, the obedient movement, they were very an important part of the Labour Party.
It
I
helped
agree.
the popularity that Labour Party was nowhere before that time.
True. Before that time, Labour Party was nowhere. But when he came in, there were so many other support groups that built up apart from the obedient movement. Other support groups came up, looked at the ideology of the party, felt that, this party has been on, nobody really looked at it. Now that Mr. Obi has come, opened our eyes, we have seen it, and we think is a party that can be used in the future. So most of those support groups, they are still with us.
So you don't see the movement of the obedient movement as a big loss? And
It is a loss. It is a loss. It is a loss. It's a minus. But I am telling you that having left the obedient movement, Mr. Peter Obi himself, there are other people who are still around who have not left. So we want to start building from there.
Do you have enough time to build?
We do.
Because the way it is now, a lot of people say that, look, they were quite disappointed, I beg your pardon, at the exit of Mr. Peter Obi, saying that, look, it took time for this political education to be executed, and a lot of people that are used to the logo of the Labour Party, are used to the Mama, Papa, Peking thing and everything, that's, going to ADC to start another thing, that is quite disappointing.
So such people are the people who are still around, those people who are used to Mama, Papa, and Peking, who are used to the ideology, they are used to the way the Labour Party runs. Those people are still with Labour Party.
Now, what is the input of the Nigerian Labour Congress in all this now? Because I know that Nigerian Labour Congress, the leadership was at loggerheads with the Aburi faction of the Labour Party. I don't know what's your relationship with the Nigerian Labour Congress.
Well, we have a very cordial relationship because they are institutional stakeholders of the Labour Party. Labour Party is the only political party that has institutions as stakeholders. We have the TUC, we have the NLC. Most other political parties do not have that. They have just individuals coming together to form a political party.
Now, projecting now, a lot of people now say, do you believe in Labour Party now moving forward in this power shift between the North and South?
Yes, I believe in power shift between North and South.
Where are we now?
Well, it's the turn of the South.
So, if the Labour Party want to field the candidate now,
it will be a Southerner.
Not a Northerner.
No. But anyway, as I said, this is my personal view. When we sit together as stakeholders, we will decide whether we are going to even field a candidate or we are not going to field, and if we are going to field, where will the candidate come from? All those decisions.
But from your own moral perspective?
From my moral perspective, it is a turn of the South, and a Southerner should be allowed to contest election at this material time.
So they should allow to spend the 8 years.
Yes,
and
yes, that's my view.
There's an attempt to even, creep in religion into this. Muslim tickets, Christian Muslim tickets. What's your perspective of this?
My perspective is we should just look at people's capacity and their ability to govern. It shouldn't really matter to us what religion they practice. Merit. And for most people, religion is not written on the forehead. You may not really know what they practice.
So for the country moving forward now,
merit. Let's look at people's ability, capability, suitability to an office, and let's give them a chance. That way we are going to move forward. But if we keep bringing in the issue of religion, bringing in other issue of tribe, honestly, we are not going to make any meaningful progress as a nation.
after stabilizing the Labour Party, are you eyeing any of the tickets? Maybe you want to go back to the Senate?
No.
Are you retired?
I will retire from Labour Party administration. I think I'm old enough to retire. I will be 60 at the end of this year.
Wow,
so,
congratulations.
So I think I'm old enough to retire.
In case you don't know, Nenadi Usman is a one-time senator, one-time Minister of State for Finance, now the newly confirmed national chairman of the Labour Party. I want to wish you the best
Minister of Finance, not just a Minister of State.
Just one-time Minister of Finance, I beg your pardon. Thank you. You rose through double ladder. So I want to thank you for coming to Politics on Sunday. I wish you the best of luck in trying to navigate the murky water of politics.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
And that's our offering today. Join us next week for another edition on Politics on Sunday. I'm Ayodele Ozubako.